My computers are running backup, so I can't really do much in the way of stuff with them right now, but I can still record a video of the two camcorders that I generally use. This is a JVC Video Movie GR Ax900U. As you could tell from the date stamp at the bottom, it was made in December of 1995, so that would make it actually just about 23 years old. Yeah, 23 years old. As you can tell, it has a color viewfinder. It came with a battery when I got it, but the battery charger died, so, or at least the charging capabilities did. Right now I'm simply using it as a power supply for the unit itself. It has a remote sensor, which I did get a remote for this unit. It has a halogen light bulb and a lens with the built-in lens cover, which I really like this feature. It's a very nice feature that I wish more cameras came with. As for the video quality, I'm not sure how well that, if you can see that, I'm not sure quite how to film this, but the video quality is quite good. I'm really impressed with it for a VHS-C camcorder. It has a very rudimentary menu system with controls for a fader and then cinema mode, which I think is just sort of a pseudo 16:9 mode or something. It's just some sort of pseudo widescreen mode. And manual focus and exposure, which is I'm very impressed that this has, and the controls work quite well for filming monitors because it gets really wonky sometimes when filming monitors, and a title and a display, and you can program your own titles, but it is very tedious. Is the word that I want to use to describe that. It also has various auto exposure modes as well as a mode to release the exposure controls. This has a 120 times digital zoom, which you can engage with this, and then a digital image stabilizer, but I have never needed to use this as all of my recordings with this camera have come out really stable. It is capable of playing back videotapes, and here are the various controls. You can also see that you can change the tape length and recording mode, as well as the date and time, as well as setting the title, as I previously mentioned. And then it has some VCR editing features, but I've never used that. It also has the curious ability to use a videotape to take pictures, which I have never used, and I'm quite confused as to why you would use that. Here it has, I believe that top jack is some sort of remote jack, and then there's audio and video out ports, and that's probably plug-in power for that jack in the middle is probably plug-in power for an RF, sorry, I'm blanking on an RF modulator of some sort, but I don't need to use that because I have coincidentally a JVC VCR with video and audio inputs. This is the remote it came with, and you can see on the lens that it zooms in and out, and I do believe I had to replace the battery. So, but yeah, I've used this remote a few times. It also has a time-lapse feature, which I've never used, I guess. I'm not sure. So that's the JVC Video Movie GR Ax900U. This is the Sony DC RTR V22 camcorder. This is what I used to shoot the previous clip when I was showing off the camcorder that I'm currently filming with, which is the JVC Video Movie GR Ax900U. This camcorder has a color viewfinder, so this is the camcorder that I'm currently filming with. The pop-out LCD screen is touch sensitive. It has a plethora of effects, such as both digital and standard video effects, such as luminance key, and then various color effects for it has a plethora of effects such as luminance key, various faders, as well as various video effects. As you saw in the previous clip, I faded out with the mosaic fader. Trying to get the viewfinder in focus here. This camcorder records onto mini DV tapes. I quite like the quality of this camcorder. It's very nice, especially coming from the camcorder that I'm currently recording with, which was my first camcorder, even though I got it about 2 years ago. It has this useful little battery display that tells you how much battery charge you have remaining, and that is viewable in both the viewfinder and on the LCD. This has a flip-out lens cover, which is the next best thing when it comes to lens covers, in my opinion. This also accepts a remote, but I do not have that remote on me. This does not have a halogen bulb like the camcorder that I'm currently using does, but it has something that could be as useful, depending on what you're trying to film, which is Sony's night shot. This also has Sony's active interface shield, and it can record pictures and video on the memory stick, although the memory stick videos are nowhere near the quality of mini DV footage. This is the mid-range model from Sony. The TR V19 does not have a color viewfinder and cannot use memory sticks, but it and the TR V33 no. The TR V23 can record at higher resolution options, but this is a good camcorder for my uses. As for ports, it has an LANC jack, which I believe is some sort of remote system, an S-video jack on the front, as well as USB, DV, and audio-video jacks behind this flap, and behind this flap. Oh wait, that's not a flap. Behind. I've only had this camcorder for about a week, so I'm still getting used to it. Behind this flap are headphone and microphone jacks. I'm not sure if the microphone jack is stereo, but I would assume so, given that the microphone itself is stereo and this accepts stereo audio. The audio-video jack and the S-video jack serve as both in and out jacks. The TR-V19 has the ability to record photos to mini DV tape, and I'm not sure if that's the same for the higher-end models. The manual is not clear about this. I can't tell if you can record photos to mini DV tape on higher-end models of this camera as well, or if that functionality is replaced with the ability to record photos to memory stick. Here's the memory stick slot. This has a backlight compensation feature. It uses Sony's InfoLithium M batteries, and the camera itself is the charger, so there's no need to worry about the charger dying. The accessories that my camera came with were a Sony power brick, as well as its cord to go to the wall, as well as a USB cable. In addition to that, I also bought a FireWire cable to connect this to my computer. I bought a specialty cable just for the AV jack on this camcorder, but the amusing part is this, which is a cable that I've had for a while, but just sitting around my room, actually works, even though it doesn't have stereo sound, which is why this clip doesn't have stereo sound. This works better than the cable that I got specifically for this camcorder, which is really amusing. So I thought I'd give a quick demonstration of the various effects capabilities of each of these camcorders just to finish off the video. With this one you have the ability to, this is the JVC, you have the ability to superimpose various titles as well as the date and time on your video, as well as the ability to use a fader. And with the Sony camcorder you have the ability to, you have various faders such as the bounce fader, which was just demonstrated, as well as just a normal fade to black, a mosaic fader, which I used earlier in the video, a monotone fader, which fades to black and white, overlap, wipe, and dot. Overlap and wipe, I believe, no, overlap and dot, I believe, might use a previous footage, and wipe is most likely just a wipe fader. For digital effects you have slow shutter, which allows you to slow down the shutter speed. Old movie, which makes things look like an old movie. Still, which superimposes a still image onto the screen. Flash, which takes freeze frames every so often. Luminance key, which works better if you have a bright background with black text or something that you want to superimpose on the image. And trail, which is similar to flash, but the trail fades as you move the camera. For picture effects, we have negative, sepia, black and white, solarize, which is a really interesting effect that I personally really enjoyed the look of, pastel, which and then mosaic, which is the mosaic fader, but applied all the time. So this has been an overview of the cameras that I use for recording my videos. I hope you have enjoyed it. Oh, so that's what the wipe fader does. Cool effect. This is my JVC camcorder battery charger charging a battery. It has this problem where it won't actually charge a battery, but I figured I might as well try it again. I suspect they're bad capacitors, but I haven't gotten a chance to open it up and take a look. So yeah, I guess I will return when this is finished, and I will see if it has charged the battery or not. I really hope it has, because I do not want to open this thing up. I actually bought a second one, but it is suffering from the same issue, so I'm wondering if it's possible that this battery might finally be dead. My JVC camcorder actually came with two. This is a larger capacity one. The other one is an original JVC battery that didn't really hold much of a charge at all. This one originally held a charge, but now it is not looking like it is. I still can't tell if this is a battery problem or a charger problem, though. So, yeah. I just added my second battery and the second charger I got later to this test, just to see. Both of them seem to be charging the battery normally currently. So, yeah, I'll come back when one or both of them changes their state at all. So this is the behavior I was experiencing before with both chargers. The charge LED goes out, the power light stays on, but the end light does not come on. The end light is green. I could try pressing the refresh button on both of these, but previously that has not done anything, because it just turns off as soon as I stop holding down on it. So I'm thinking it's some hardware failure with the chargers, although I have no more batteries to test with. Here's the battery off the charger, and as you can see when I put the battery on the charger and try to turn the camera on, there is nothing.